The NBA season just finished. It's award season. All the awards up for grabs. We gon' predict each winner for each award. We're Double D Ball. This Daniel. Say what's up.
What up, bro? What up?
I'm DeAndre, and yeah, we as a collective. So we picked a winner for each, and we realized that every single one of our winners were the same. So we just gonna
We're
go.
just twinning over here, bro. I
Yeah,
don't I don't know what it is, man.
I don't know. I guess like we know who should win. We know who deserves to win. So
We're right. We're right.
yeah, so let's get into it. We just gonna tell you who we feel like deserves to win. So what's the first award?
Sure. Okay. I think we should start with some easy ones. Um, for example, Rookie of the Year. I think so. This guy has been killing it from since the beginning of the year. No contest really. Like I don't think anyone's ever bet him in odds at this point. Maybe the very beginning of the year, but Paulo Banchero.
Paulo
He's
Banchero. Yeah, I
not much to say about it, to be honest. I could bring up some other rookies. Shout out to Jalen Williams, Walker Kessler, Keegan Murray. Those guys all played great. All consistent guys. Well, Jalen picked it up at the end of the year, but Mr. Consistent really was Paulo. At the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to with this award.
yeah. Paulo since the beginning of the year has showed that he has potential to be a number one option for a team, even though like he is the number one option right now, so he doesn't have it easy. He's never been in a situation like that where he is being hounded by real NBA players, So even though he's had like a kind of, not everyone's been talking about his season, but he's been consistent, and yeah, it's not even close. So I feel like
I
it's
will
easy
say
Paulo.
there were rocky moments, like the beginning of the year this year. There was a moment where this guy couldn't make a three, but like besides that,
Yeah,
he was consistent. He was putting up the numbers that he needed. He was leading his team. I think Orlando did better than what most people expected Orlando to do. So that was good for him.
yeah,
But I think we should move on. We got another obvious award, I think. Coach of the Year,
yeah. Coach of the year, it got to be the man from Sacramento, Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
Yeah, Sacramento finished 12th last year, and I know the projections at the beginning of the season were that they're going to be a tanking team. Possibly they're not going to make the play-in. Some people said that their ceiling is a play-in, and they somehow ended up the third seed in really a conference that everyone is doing well in, and they just really stuck out somehow. And it's not a coincidence that Mike Brown came in for his first season, got these guys playing, and they're they have real title hopes this season. No one could have imagined that at the beginning. So I feel like it's a consensus that he needs his flowers.
I think looking at the beginning of the year when people were predicting the standings, if you did have him at a playoff team, you would probably have him around 7 or 8, maybe. Besides that, you probably wouldn't have had him in the playoffs. And look at them, best offense in the league, led by Mike Brown, and a lot of things that I heard from a lot of other people, and I definitely think this is true that a lot of the players on that team had their best years this year.
That is
So I
facts.
think I think that does have to go towards Mike Brown. I think he absolutely deserves it. I would like to give one honorable mention to Mike Budenholzer from the Bucks, number
Coach
one
Bud.
team in the league. But Mike Brown deserves it. Mike Brown deserves it.
That's for
Um,
sure.
and should we move on to the second Sacramento winner, because we have the clutch player of the year, and we got De'Aaron Fox, and this guy's leading the league in all clutch stats. I think this guy deserves it. There's not much competition in my opinion.
Mhm. The first time this award is up for grabs, and he's he really had taking for it since the beginning. He is the one in Sacramento that they lean on when times are tough. It's a close game. He's bringing the ball up the court and pulling up. and he most likely over 50% will make it. So they have been relying on him in the clutch time, and he's been performing every time for them. So no one really is close in this. Most attempts, high, like 58% from the field. It got to go to him.
Shout out to guys like Jalen Brunson and DeRozan and Jimmy Butler, but again, Fox deserves this one. Next award that we have, the last, in my opinion, obvious award is the Most Improved award. We both have Lauri Markkanen, a guy who, in my opinion, who went from a guy that no one looked at as a player that would be an all-star. Like you would have your a few people would have their opinions that he could be something in the league, but this guy was a part of a trade piece that he was just like a guy thrown in there, and he turned into a guy on a rotation who didn't do much to an absolute all-star this year, and possibly even all NBA player. The stats are amazing, super super efficient. I think he was the first player to make 100 threes and 200 dunks or something in the NBA. I remember seeing that stat on Twitter once. That. But man, Lauri has been amazing this year. Absolutely deserves it.
Even though Cleveland probably aren't worried because they have still thrived this year, I bet they would have made that Donovan Mitchell trade without him. They could have, because really, I bet even Utah Jazz did not see this leap from him this year.
I don't think anyone did.
He was a first-team All-Star, man. First. Yeah. Like, that's, to me, that is the most mind-blowing thing about it. Someone that was really just a bench guy, and now the number one option on the team that was striving so much at the beginning of the year, and it's honestly amazing to see. He better win it. Ain't nobody like Shea should win it. Nah, John Morant last year shouldn't have won it. We gotta get off this direction that they want to go with the Most Improved, because really, Lauri Markkanen is a definition of someone that is most improved. People doubted, people didn't think much of him, and now he's shining. It gotta go to him.
I agree. Yeah, guys like Shea, he did have a jump, but it was an expected jump. Maybe not 30-point expected, but it was somewhat expected. I would say shout out to Jalen Brunson as well. I think he did have a very good jump, and I think he does deserve some consideration. But I think for the most part, no one had a jump like Lauri Markkanen, and so in that case, I think he deserves it the most. Should we move on to Sixth Man of the Year?
Sixth Man. Okay, Sixth Man. I have a reason why I picked this man for Sixth Man. To me, a sixth man is someone that is always the sixth person that is called up, the sixth person that you rely on. And to me, the person that has been the definition of that this season is Malcolm Brogdon. And first, to prove the point, I would like to talk about the person that he's competing with this, for Immanuel Quickley. Immanuel Quickley, there's many games where he has started and played full minutes that he wouldn't normally play if the starters were there, So that alone has his stats inflated because his best games are when he's a starter. Malcolm Brogdon has better stats than him in the year, and he has been a sixth man every single game. Come off the bench every single game. I have more respect for that than someone that has their best games when they're not a sixth man, which is the definition. That's the name of the award. So I can't give it to anyone else besides the best sixth man, which is Brogdon.
I will. The only we both have Malcolm Brogdon, but my only argument for Immanuel Quickley is that he did play more games, a significant amount of games more than Brogdon in general, and I think we can't really blame Immanuel Quickley for stepping up, because the guys on the Knicks have been injured throughout the year. So if you are the sixth man, you are the first one that's going to be stepping up into the starting lineup. But at the same time, like you said, his stats have been inflated. His best games have been in the starting lineup. And yeah, Brogdon's just Mr. Consistent, man. We're all about consistency here, and this guy is super efficient too. One of the best 3-point shooters in the league.
Surprising.
Fits all perfect.
Surprising. Ugly form.
So yes,
Ugly form, man. That's one of the
hey,
ugliest shooting
whatever
forms.
works,
Oh, but yeah, big up to
whatever
him.
works, brother.
Big up to him.
45% from the league. I think Malcolm Brogdon. Yeah, he's good. He's good. Yeah, I think to me it's closer than I think what you think, but
Mm.
yeah, we both got
Question:
Brogdon.
Did you see Brogdon doing this when he was signed? Honestly, I think they traded for him. I didn't really bat an eye to that because Brogdon in the Pacers, no one's talking about him. No one's really batting an eye to him, and now he joins the Celtics, and he put his marker down as like one of like a solid role player in the league.
I do remember when that trade happened, and I thought it was pretty big actually. To be honest, I thought they needed more guard play. But the guy who I was mostly surprised about actually this year was Derek White. I think he is really who stepped up the most on that team.
Big jump.
But he's starting, so he's not a six man, obviously. But yeah, I wasn't super surprised that he'd be good. But six man of the year, I wasn't sure. I think he was always actually somewhat in for consideration since the beginning of the year. But yeah, you got it. You got it done. I think. Should we move on to defensive player of the year?
Okay, this is probably I feel like the most controversial. Maybe not. Maybe like I feel like it's one of the hardest to pick from.
I my personal artist.
Yeah.
Personally, even now to be totally honest, I'm not 100% um like certain about my pick, but we both came to the conclusion for one guy. So yeah, I think you have a you're passionate about this
I'm
before, so you
strong.
can.
I strongly will say that my defensive player of the year is Brooke Lopez. Brooke Lopez is, again, we talk about consistency. Consistent as hell. I want to say he has played like over like almost 70 games for the Bucks this year. Around that threshold. I'm pretty sure he's played the most games for the Bucks this year. He has been the number one shot blocker in the league in like total shot blocks. He he's just been so consistent. Who knew that Brooke Lopez, the later on he goes in his career, he'd just get better and better. And I think he has been so consistent that he deserves his flowers for this award. And I'm gonna go again into say why he won by talking about the other person that he's competing with, Jaren Jackson. I feel like Jaren Jackson is the consensus DPOY. He's the betting favorite. But I feel like no way a defensive player of the year could struggle to stay on the court because he always gets in foul trouble. I feel like defending and fouling go hand in hand, and if you're a heavy fouler, you can't be touted as the number one defensive player in the league. It just can't be. The amount of minutes he has less played than Brook is not even close. And I know Brook has played way more games than him, but I promise you, it's not even that's not even like the fact. It's the fact that he so much time is in foul trouble. He will get subbed out quick in the first quarter, or he's not finishing games because he fouled out. That to me, it's not a defensive player of the year worthy kind of narrative behind you. I understand he is shot blocking at a crazy rate. Ridiculous rate, honestly. Memphis Grizzlies are better defensively when he's on the court. But the thing is, it's him being on the court that's a problem. Even if they're so amazing when he's on the court defensively, if he is getting into foul trouble, ends up being subbed out, and then the team is struggling defensively because he's not there, I have to put that on him. And to me, that's the number one reason why I can't give him this award. If he fouled less, he'd be running away with it. But the fact that this is a conversation, it's because he can't help fouling. So I would hope he would improve in this because really he should. I shouldn't be saying this about him. when he's been having a crazy season, All Star, maybe All NBA. But to me, I can't get over that.
Hmm. Yeah, honestly, to me, this was definitely the hardest pick because I think they both have their reasons. I will say, when it comes to Brook Lopez, he, to me, was just the most efficient defender, if that makes sense. Whenever any regular game I tuned in and I'm watching him, no one wants to contest, no one wants to go for a paint layup or any shot in the paint because he's there. Um, he's just it seemed when he's there, it seems like he's got the job covered, and not that Jaren doesn't, but it just seems like, and I guess it does have to do with the fouls because if Jaren Jackson keeps on getting fouled out, then it's just not efficient. That's what it comes down to. I will say though that Brook Lopez has a very big advantage, and that advantage is his teammates. Uh, having teammates like Giannis, having teammates like Drew Holiday, being obviously some of the best defenders in the league, helps him massively. I think when it comes to being a defender as well. Just he has those help defenders there. Jaren Jackson, although actually they are second in defensive efficiency from what I checked. Um, they I guess that's in totality they have good defensive players, but when it comes to like their top three, it's I don't think it's the same as Milwaukee.
Hey, let me argue. Let
So
me argue. So I feel like it's Brook and Steven Adams. Steven Adams had been injured, so I'll give you that. The past like 2 months he's been injured, so I'll give you that. But then there's Giannis, and there's Jaren Jackson Jr. And Jaren Jackson Jr. has been the better defender this year, so that cancels out. Drew Holiday and Dylan Brooks. I understand it's Dylan Brooks, but I'm telling you, if you watch Dylan Brooks, you see that he's a good on-ball defender. He does what Drew Holiday does, maybe not at the same efficiency. He kind of gets in
no,
foul
he's
trouble a
good.
little too, but they really do the same role. So I really feel like they have it the same. They're different positions, of course, but I feel like they have it the same with the defenders they have around them. But I see what you're saying because I still think Milwaukee does have the better defenders in total. But so yeah.
I think at the end of the day, we have the same guy, and what it really comes down to is the efficiency. Stay on the court, don't foul as much, and you'll be more effective. That is really what it comes down to. Should we move on to our last award, the most important award, MVP?
MVP.
MVP. So
Let me
this
go.
has
Let me go.
been
Let me
the
go. Let me
talk of
go.
the year. This has been the talk of the year since the beginning of the year. Three guys, right? Embiid, Jokic, Giannis. Uh, there was a point in the year where all these guys were number one at a certain point, but we did come down to one guy, and that is Joel Embiid. Do you want to give your reasonings behind Joel
I
Embiid?
hate this nigga. I hate this nigga in real life. He only because I'm a Raptors fan, but his game's not my favorite too. Anyways, foul merchant. But still, I appreciate. I can appreciate someone that's really dominating the league and like dominating like I've never seen before. It hurts to say, but I've seen so many games where Embiid put the team on his back offensively and defensively. Went crazy and just he's having a career year. I feel like the best way to give him his flowers is to again talk about who he's competing with because all these guys are having crazy seasons, but when it comes to scoring, Embiid's the best at all of them. When it comes to defense, you can give it to Giannis, but like Embiid's defense this season really needs to be praised because the past couple years, people talk about his effort, his positioning. That they can't say it this year. He's been a different kind of beast this year. And playmaking, you can't tell me that every team's not double teaming him every chance he picks up the ball. It don't care if he feel like he can get it over you, he'll get it over you. But don't think that he can't make a pass to the open man for an open three or for someone to drive, someone to cut. He has just been spectacular, man. And again, this hurts for me to say, but he has been by far the best player. Yes, there was a time that Jokic was the consensus. I want to say the betting odds were like, I don't remember the line, but it was like it's Jokic's to lose. They matched up against each other, and Embiid said, "Nah, I'm the MVP." He destroyed Jokic, and I feel like ever since that game, it's been his to lose. So he's been consistent till the end of the year, and it got to be him. It got to be him.
I will say, um, if you if anyone told me Jokic or Giannis was the MVP, I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's valid, to be honest. I think that's how close this competition has been. To me, I think the moments of the year, Embiid has had way more moments, way more
That is true.
like just crazy games than either of these guys.
Well, what's your
Okay,
craziest Embiid game? I have one right off
probably
the top of my
the
head, so that's
Utah
why I
game,
ask.
the Utah game, 59.
Yo, how much he
Yeah,
had? He had a certain amount of points in a row in the fourth quarter, like crazy efficient in the fourth, and it was a close
yeah.
game, so like they needed him. Oh,
It
that
was
was a
it was
great
one
game.
of the most insane stat lines too. It was crazy. It was crazy. That was a banger of a game for sure from him. But yeah, man, like all to me, it is close. It is close. And again, I will actually say, when it comes to Embiid, he has made some weird comments about the MVP, or not even actually the MVP, about like championship. He said something about, oh, like it doesn't even matter that much or something, which that is kind of stupid to me.
Uh,
Kind of another topic for another day, but regardless, man, I with how close it is, like if you said Giannis, best player in the year in the league, best team, but I do think his team in general did help that record out in general, and like if the even with him being gone, because Giannis has been gone more, has missed more games than both Embiid and Jokic. So, and their team has won more games without him uh, than Jokic and
yeah,
Embiid's
they're
teams.
the number one seed, and he's missed the most games, so that says a lot.
And
That says a lot.
it does say a lot. Uh, Although Jokic has the number one seed in the West, I'm pretty sure they're tied with
No,
Philly.
I think Philly
So
has more wins. I think one more win.
does Philly have one more win? I think they might have one more win. Regardless, it's so close. So like the seedings are really close. You know, people say if Jokic had that triple double, if that would have mattered, maybe. But he's so close, so I don't think it would have mattered that much. I will say the reason why it's not like 100% to me though is because Embiid did sit out that one Denver game. I think if he was there, then
The thing is, be
and
honest with
and
yourself. If he's playing, he's giving Jokic that work. Jokic did not match up well against Embiid, so
I
like
don't
I feel
know.
like I feel
Hey,
like
hey,
Jokic is happy
I
he didn't play.
I don't think so, bro. I don't. I completely disagree. I
Not
think
this year.
Jokic
Embiid,
gave him the
it,
work. They played once this year. So I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think no, it's
gotta
not
see
easy
next
to
time.
defend Jokic. Obviously, defending Embiid is not easy either. But it didn't help Embiid at the end of the day. You
Yeah,
you can argue oh, Embiid would have killed Jokic, whatever. But at the end of the day, he wasn't there.
that's
So
true.
what's there to say?
He ducked the smoke. He ducked the smoke. Hey, this is why I don't
Yeah.
like Joel Embiid. This is why it hurts to give it to him because I don't. There's so much antics at the end of the season. He's downplaying him winning a championship or him having pressure to win a championship. He's downplaying so much stuff that Jokic is doing, and it's kind of petty. Acting like
It
Jokic
is. It's
ain't
weird.
beat
It's
him.
it, it's unnecessary.
It is, but he's just lucky he gonna win. Most likely, I feel like he gonna win. So he's lucky that I feel like most people won't remember the antics he had, just the year he had. But yeah, this is why I'm not a fan of Embiid. But He's been going crazy, man. So my crazy game, because there's one game that I remember from Embiid this year. It was against Memphis, their last game against Memphis, and he went crazy. I remember Jaren Jackson Jr. blocked him. Jaren Jackson Jr. Acting all tough, this and that, and then Embiid at the end of the game got one of the craziest blocks I think I've ever seen in my life against John Morant.
Mm,
He jumped so high for that, and after we're done recording this, I go and watch it again to refresh myself. But it just
mm.
moments like that, I feel like that's the best moment out of all the three guys this year. So I feel like moments was a good thing to bring up because for real, Joel Embiid has had the best moments out of all the guys.
That's how much it came down to this year. Really, like these guys, all these three guys are so damn good that you have to be a little picky with what you choose with
Hmm.
moments or with like anything with the you see gotta come down to the nitty gritty there.
For
But
real.
I guess those are our awards, guys. So thanks
So
for tuning in. Thanks for watching the vid. Let us know what you guys got. If you guys got anything different, please let us know in the comments. Please like, subscribe, do all of that, share with your friends, everything. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
no,
All
no,
right.
no, no. Look at that, madame.